Hello, world, and we are back. Play this hand. My name's Kyle Fishel. This could be the next session of Battling in the Micros. I play online on ClubGG about once every 2 weeks. Play a little $50 buy-in, give you all some insight in my thought process and some action, some online games. And, yeah, we're going to get right into it. But versus a 3-bet from the big blind, we're probably just going to fold the 6-8 suited. Anyone who has any interest in playing with me online or in future streams, you can message me on Instagram, Kyle_Fishel, Telegram @KyleFishel, and we can play in that scenario. Otherwise, hope I get some interesting hands, hopefully something worth enjoying, and we'll just see from there. Get some music started and play some cards. Otherwise, let me know about your bad beat stories, how poker's going for you, all that jazz. For me, been on a little bit of a downswing of lately. I think for February right now, I'm down like 1,500 total, which is, my graph is just kind of going up and then big loss and then kind of going up and then big loss, and it's just not able to avoid the bad beats on the big hands this month so far. But there's always March. And today, maybe I'll make like $300 today. I have done some pretty strong sessions on the online before, so maybe today will be one of them. 6-9 off is not going to be one of them, but we'll see. Let's fix everything. All right. And yeah, we are live, so that works out well. Now we get to see how all this turns out. Definitely playing the ace-10. Would love to see a flop for cheap, but if we face a 3-bet, I guess we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get to it. Already got into it. Guy instantly made it $5. I think ace-10's worth it. $3.50 to win $10. Seems worth. Not my favorite flop, but shouldn't interact with him too much, so if he bets, I'd be kind of shocked, honestly. Or about $6-ish. Let's see. 609 seems reasonable. Maybe he bet with a pair and just whiffed. Ooh, we beat better ace highs. We now beat better ace highs. We beat ace king, ace queen. Can't beat kings though. Dang. Alright, so 3 bets, they've had it. Guess we'll move on from there. Oh, nice to see this one for free. Hit top pair. Why not? Alright. We survived the lips. We survived the limps because we just get to see it for free. Or we survive a lap. Ugh, what am I saying? Not playing very well. I'll take a break from that studying the game more. Yeah, tricky. I feel you. I've had a tough time with it too, and then I study and I look into things. And for me personally, when I've done the studying, my conclusion's basically been that I'm actually playing like well and correct, and I'm just actually getting unlucky. You just look at the scenario and you're like, oh, you played well and you got it all in. Kings versus ace 4. Flop's a flush. Guess we can't do much better than that. Then, you know, last Friday I got it all in. I had 6-8 on a board of 3 or 4. It was 5-4 deuce flop turn 7. I had 6-8. So have the nuts, but the board with 2, 4, 5, 7 is 2 clubs, 2 spades. Guy bets, guy raises, I jam. Guy who raised calls. I show, he says he needs a black card. 5 of clubs. He has a flush, and I lose. So, you know, just get nearly $2,000 in the middle with 82% chance to win and lose. Most of the big ones have been going the other way for me this month, but, you know, next month anything can happen. Today anything can happen. It's part of it. The way I get over it, for anyone who cares, is I just watch like higher stakes poker. You know, 3-outers and draws get there and bad hands win. I just watch that at higher stakes and then I don't feel so bad. I'm like, oh, okay, well, same thing happened to some guy for like 20 grand, so I don't feel so bad anymore. Yeah, I was going to open, but I guess I'll just fold. Not a great flop for me either, so guess I'm happy that I folded. Promise hand is going to c-bet. And continue 2 barrels. See what that means. Crone, thinking about it, not giving it to him for free. And, I don't really know. You're either way ahead or way behind. Just 2x pot. I guess he has a jack. Jack 7, yeah. He just always has a jack there when he just, like, overbets the river. Lead overbet? I don't think that's a thing. I think we can kind of just exploitatively fold there. But we're going to play the Jack 10 suited. Am I going to get 3-bet every hand I play? Absolutely. Every single hand I put money in. Got 3-bet. Not going to call a 3-bet. Get a decent flop, though. Guess we just have to wait for a hand because we've been 3-bet every time. So I guess it's time to 4-bet light. Seems to be the recipe I have to implement at this point. People are over 3-betting. Gotta put in the next raise. But what if flop to jack with a queen? Probably get you in trouble. Today, looking through my comments, I saw one guy. He said that queen jack is called the Hawaii hand because if you never played it, you'd have enough money to go to a vacation to Hawaii. Thought it was kind of interesting. Never heard that one before. All right, Blessed Poker's gotten something. After I play his hand, I'm going to read his comments and talk to him. We're going to go 650 with this one. 650 seems good with the ace 10 of hearts. And we get diamonds. But we're going to bet big because we 4-bet and we just win. Sometimes you just got to bet big. Just pretend you have ace-king. Because if I had ace-king, I'd probably bet big. And we just win. So that worked out well. So Blessed Poker said, worst bad beat I had was a PLO hand. Played every 10 hands at my local card room. Flop had ace, ace, king 9. Double suited. Top flop hit the nut flush. Bottom flop was 4 cards to a flush. Bet, call, call. Top flop villain hits a straight flush when I already had the ace high flush. Yeah, that'll be expensive. I had that happen in a Hold'em bomb pot. You know, both with 2 cards. Hold'em single board. I flop nut flush into straight flush. Okay, I guess you win. You know, just ace rag of hearts and the board is 6, 8, 9 all hearts and he has 7, 10. Not even 7, 5. just threads the needle. So, and yeah, you see it, and you're just like, wow, I'm actually dead. Usually you get it in, you're like, oh, okay, I'm pretty behind. I got like 30%, but this time you get it in, and you're like, oh, I lose everything. Bottom river gives him another straight on the straight flush. Straight flush on both boards. Never seen that one before. Flush on both boards, lost straight flushes, almost $1,800 pot. Yeah, that one's pretty bad. I've never seen two straight flushes on a double board PLO bomb pot hand. We got Jacob here, having some connection issues. And the game continues. We got a guy betting half pot on the top card pairs. Kind of interesting. That usually doesn't happen all too often, so see. Not really gonna play this one. But the ace-10 hand was interesting. Worked out pretty well for me. Got a bluff through, so hopefully next time I actually like make a hand and don't need a bluff. Sporting a 26% VPIP. Kind of tight for what I would like to be, but kind of card dead so far. Also on a table that's, I guess, pretty prevalent to 3-betting, so that doesn't help all too often. Seems like Ty plays cards. It's the guy's name who's betting. Seems like he's, when checked to, he's high aggression factor. Probably going to keep that in mind. The music's gone for some reason. Fix that. Queen 9. I think under the gun, it's a little too wide. Like, I think if you call with this one, you're just pretty bad. If you're on the button, cut off, decent, not horrible, I would say. Hijack, getting a little bit dicier the further out you get. Under the gun, it's just, you got 7 people that could just wake up with a hand. You're gonna get in trouble. You play that early. So, well, back to Blessed Poker. Sorry to hear about your hand there. It's one thing to just have 2 straight flushes, but also to have, like, a flush yourself on both boards. Pretty unlucky. Ugh. Sometimes the cards are just mean. But, I was actually playing 1-2 at Bonita Springs literally yesterday. And, board was 6, Queen 6 deuce. 3 people get it all in. Pocket queens, pocket sixes, pocket deuces. And, yeah, sometimes you're just going to lose. It just is what it is. And, even the queens is sitting there saying, like, oh my god, I think that someone's going to hit quads. Because, yeah, it's just such a weird coolery hand. It makes sense to have some negative feelings when you see the other 2 players. You're like, well, this is so outrageous that maybe someone's going to just hit quads on me and make it even more storytelling worth. Oh, I want to play hands, but versus a 3-bet, even a small one, out of position, seems bad to play King 8 suited, especially when Jake can just like 4-bet to like $10 sometimes, I guess. Luckily, I don't get punished. You know, it's not like flop 2 diamonds or king high or even just 8 high. All probably give me the best hand. Three better checks on the ace of clubs. And the board pairs on the river. That's a tough run out. Nuts have changed every street. Finds a raise. I actually, I started with, 3-bet. Yeah, 3-bet on the river. I guess that's pretty nutted. I actually started with a free week trial at pokercoaching.com. I started with that, and I thought it was so good that it was kind of worth for me. Thought the information was just really, really good. And when I was on a downswing when I first, like, okay, I need to look up, see what I'm doing. And then I watched a few videos. I'm like, wow, I'm playing really bad. Like, everything I do is just incorrect. And then I correct some things, went on like a 4K upswing. And then, you know, now I'm just actually, in my opinion, running bad. You know, people are hitting some 20 and less percents on me at the river in big pots, which is expensive. But there are some spots I could have done better. If you've seen the last video I made at Derby, where I have pocket queens the final hand, and the guy just rivers a queen to make him straight give me trips. I mean, that's kind of tough. You can fold sometimes, but I think you're going to be exploited a lot if you're folding there. I don't think it's horrible to fold, but, you know, can't I just not hit a queen at the river? Seems like that would be just an easier way to win at poker. Just don't get runouts that give you really hard decisions. Flop top pair should be good here. Definitely raising. We're most likely to have a 5 compared to everyone else. And we get snap called by that guy, so that's less than ideal. Snap calls are usually draws, but I guess he could have a 5 too. But I'm probably just going to hit a heart on this river. I just knew it was coming, and now I get a difficult decision no matter what. Just lose to everything. Ugh. Seems to be how I've been running. I don't see how I'm ever good here. I don't even, like, he checks. I'm never betting, but I just also think I'm just losing. King 9. Well, it's not calling, I guess. I don't understand the flop call, but sure. Guess we'll take it. If you want to play in tables like this, message me on Instagram. Oh, I misclicked the flop. Oh, yeah, I'd say that makes sense, my guy. Unlucky. Yeah, for anyone who missed it, he just typed in the chat box that he misclicked flop. Because, yeah, that one was odd. But at least we're up now. We're into the game for 75, so we are up $4, which in 15 minutes is not bad. That means 12 bucks an hour. I've almost made it to minimum wage. Which, you know, there are worse jobs to have minimum wage at. Yeah, one more thing tricky about what to study. If you follow, like, Poker Go and stuff, Jonathan Little just, like, won the Poker Go Cup. And, won, like, 2 tournaments. Like, the best crushers in the world, $10,000 buy-ins. And, so, PokerCoach.com's his site, and he basically just, you know, practiced what he preached. Said, like, hey, I can teach you all how to win, and I'll even show it on the felt. I'll just do it. And, you know, he did. Win 2 events out of, like, 7, just outright win them. Seems, pretty good. I would say you should probably listen to that guy. I'd say he knows what he's talking about. What? It's the line from Rounders. Why do the same guys make the final table every single year? Are they just the luckiest guys in Las Vegas? John Little just the luckiest guy at the Poker Go studio? No, I actually think he outplayed them, especially one of the final tables I watched in its entirety. He just he picked his spots almost perfectly and just won blinds here and there and played very, very well. That's what it is. It's all about stealing blinds, getting ahead, putting pressure on short stacks. When you get to a final table tournament, that's very important. Just knowing who to apply the pressure to and when and why. Typically, you want to go for like middling stacks who have like extra incentive to fold because there's a shorter stack that they'd like to lose first because they're giving up a lot of money if they make a mistake in that hand and lose when there's like a very short stack that could give them a pay jump. A lot of technical talk, but you know, poker's a technical game. Technically, I love donating to people. That's why I play it. I think my music stopped. Alright, got some music playing. Hands are getting big. $11 bet. Flush on a paired board. Trips. Trips. Ugh. Some coolers happening. Not going to play an off-suited connector. Still sporting a 20% VPIP. Pretty short. Pretty small. Would like it to be higher, but... I mean, I played live where I just fold for like 2 hours. Just actually never play a hand. And see, you get punished because you just would have flopped a straight. Absolute punishing. Have Queen Jack so I can be exonerated? Be hysterical? No, just king. Been funny if he just has Queen Jack and it's like, wow, I get stacked there. Ugh. This is loose, but, you know, whatever. Let's run it. Suited connectors under the gun. Pretty loose. Promised hands in there. We get an ace. We will bet like we have an ace. Ooh. Then we turn basically dead. No equity. No backdoor. Damn. 3, deuce, 5, 4, diamond. A lot of hands I continue on, but... yeah, he bet. I was gonna say, if he checks, I'm just gonna bet and try, but if he bets, I'm just gonna fold, so... you know, nice hand. Maybe he just had the ace we're trying to rep. We have an ace now, so I guess we get to play this hand. Let's see. 125. 3-bet. Oh no, I think ace 10 is supposed to fold to 3 bets. I'm gonna actually check the charts real quick to see if ace 10 folds to a 3-bet. I'm almost certain it does. I'm trying to actually play like correctly these days. Ace 4 is decent. Oh, well, I'll check it later. Just trust me on it when I'm saying, like, I'm almost certain that's just a fold. Might make me look like a nit, but... and this is probably a fold too, unless I want to just, like, 5-bet, be sick. To nit or not to nit? It's too much to ask for a questionable hand and position. Punish me with the clubs. Throw a club out there. Max punishment. Probably have to call a pot size bet. I guess we'll never know. So I think I'm going to loosen it up from here on out, because to me it looks like the 3-betting ranges are a lot looser than they would be regularly. So you can start loosening up yourself. Like if a 3-bet doesn't mean what a 3-bet should mean, it means like a regular open, then you can 3-bet, you can 4-bet more, you can call, you can do a lot of things. Now we're going to call a suited king. And we're going to hit pretty much a dream flop. Gonna just bet half pot. It is better for him. He's the opener I just called. And we're not going to stop betting, I guess, because we have a flush, even though the board paired. And we win. So that worked out well. I like winning with flushes. $6-8. big blind just has such a high 3-betting percentage. I had a straight. The hand you thought I had an ace. Oh, well. A straight's better than 4-5, so makes sense. Just gonna fold. See how these guys react in the blinds. Just get walked. Probably should have just opened. Probably wins there. Would you be intimidated playing against Tom Dwan? If I was playing for the type of money he plays for, I would be intimidated by him. If we were playing like a $50 buy-in, then no, he's either gonna win or I'm gonna win. It's just poker. But you know, with enough money and enough pressure, like I'd be intimidated by like the worst poker player in the world if I sat like 100K deep. I'm just not there yet. It is what it is. I don't have the money or the bankroll for it. I think that's what people need to realize, is that a lot about poker is just pressure and understanding, like when you got the friendly guy at the table being, oh, what do? You're a lawyer, you're this. They're really just trying to size you up how much money you have, because they're like, okay, well, if he's not like super wealthy, then he's probably gonna not like this $450 river bet. Like, and people do that at the tables. They ask those questions to gain information. So like, you know, but if we played like 1-2 against Tom Dwan, then no, he'd probably beat me. I'm not saying I'm gonna beat him, but I'm saying like the amount of money would not intimidate me. But, you know, maybe the amount of money would just make him so bored that he would start making mistakes and trying to push stuff. But, you know, he's definitely one of the best. Thought it was pretty crazy, his $1 million performance. Does help when you have a full house and someone bluffs into you. But, like he said, he had a chance to, he's thinking about raising. And yeah, you're just, is there anything that calls you one notch below? Like, I don't know, probably not. I don't think the opponent ever has a hand good enough to call a raise. I don't think we have the best hand here. I do think it's going to check to me. I just don't think a jack's fold into a bet. Don't think a king's fold into a bet. And if I got raised and you have to fold all my equity, which I do have some, you know, that'd be pretty bad. So maybe we can just, see what happens. We're not going to fold just because the button bet. Now I lose to even queen 10, so that's a pretty bad turn card. Ugh. Ugh. Extra pressure. Guess not. Wrong way. If that 9's upside down, we just pile so much money in there. But it is what it is. Here's a playable one. Ooh, is it time to get 3-bet? Because I've been 3-bet every time. Just get it in and hope. Do we have so much of the board locked up that we can't bet? Yeah, let's try to build a pot. Nice, got a caller. Still gonna bet small. We tried. Sometimes you just have too much board. Like if you check there, it just checks through, you make no money. If you bet there and you fold, make no money. Sometimes it's hard to get paid. You have to have a hand, and your opponent has to have a hand, or you have to have an image where you've just been bluffing all day so they don't believe you and they start calling you down. You know. You need a lot of things to go right to win at poker. Hearts are pretty hot today. Probably should have played. Made a flush with hearts once. Make a pair and a flush draw. Seems pretty above average. checks. Almost checks through twice. I think it's pretty nice to bet there on the turn. So I guess when those two players check twice, they really don't have too strong of holdings. Got 4 or 5 offsuit, the big blind. Love to see it limp through. That'd be nice. This guy makes it 125 sometimes. Alright, we get to see a flop for free. That's always above average, and we don't hit very good. Not very good. I think sometimes you just can let them have it. Yeah, that's fine. We already get, I guess plus EV is a way you could say it. When you get to see a flop for free, when you typically should not. Should basically just get raised and just fold outright. Never get to see the first 3 cards, but you know, when you do get to see it, it's nice. Like now, it's raised. Definitely not defending 9-5. It's just so bad. Offsuit 3. Be fun for me. Half pot after it checks through. Yeah, Fold God's been throwing a lot of bets out when it's checked to him, so we're gonna make a note of that. See if we can't exploit in the future. Well, hearts have been pretty hot today. This time we have the button. It is versus under the gun, which is less than ideal. If it was like cut off, it'd be a lot better, but getting some decent odds. Let's see some hearts. There's 1 heart and an 8. Okay, I guess we're gonna see another card. Gonna bet 150. Very small. Sometimes the smaller bluffs look better. You know, people just, they're like, oh my god, he's betting full pot. It's bluff or nothing. Sometimes you can, I say bluff because like, an 8 could be good, but I'm not value betting. I'm not saying they're like, please call me because I think I have the best hand. I'm saying like, if you have ace X, you might call and be behind. So that's why I say it like that. But you know, we can bet small. And sometimes we just clear all their equity and we just win a hand. So that's always nice. And since we're at about the halfway point, I will tell anyone watching if they would like to play on stream with me in the future. Message me on Instagram, Kyle_official, Telegram at KyleOfficial. Get you signed up, get you playing. Stream probably once every 2 weeks. Don't really want to do it every week because, you know, it's kind of a niche thing. I think people would rather see vlogs professionally done than every hand where you kind of, you know, fold a lot. But you know, if this interests you, you can message me or just tune in next week. And thank you for showing up because I appreciate anyone that spent any time to come watch the stream. Watch me fold just queen 6 and wait for hands. And, you know, I appreciate every one of you that'll sit through it. Because that's how poker is. It's a lot of folding sometimes for just a few hands. I think people watch vlogs out there, including my own, and just think like, oh my god, this guy always hits. He runs like God. But no, he's showing you like 7-8 hands across like 6 hours. Like not many at all. So, you know. Because on the next hand of note, I play pocket 9s. And the flop's 9 high because that's the only way it's going to make the vlogs if I make a set. Make a bunch of money. Good enough to call a 3-bet, which I've been facing a lot today. But looks like not this time so far, knock on wood. I don't think, yeah, I thought he was just disconnected. I didn't think he was thinking about 3-betting. 9s win. Alright, well, you know. If you win one hand every lap, you are never going to lose money. You'll just keep winning. offsuit ace-7, pretty bad ace. Let it go. And we start with 75 bucks, so we've made $8. Been here 30 minutes. We're sporting the minimum wage. We're about to get $15 to $16 an hour. So I could just do this all day. I don't need to go to McDonald's to run a cash register. For anyone wondering, I worked at Culver's for 2.5 years, so I've done the fast food. And I actually liked it. Pretty enjoyable. You know, no stress. You don't take your work home with you. You're just like, all right, day's over. Time to go. Poker, if you lose a bunch of money, you'll be thinking about that later. Ooh, tens. Tens is fun. I don't know if tens likes to 4-bet from under the gun, truthfully, but I guess we'll see. I don't know if it likes to set mine or just goes for it. Better for me. Bet big. Yeah, but since we got under the gun, we're just saying we have a strong hand, so we'll just bet big on the ace-king board, even though we have tens. And the big bet gets it done. It looks pretty strong, pretty believable. Tens also on that board, you know, queen, jack, heart. A lot of cards that give me equity that I don't really want to bet turn if I hit. Kind of just want to realize at that point. Unless I just think this guy has a king sometimes, and a king will call once full turn. So there are some scenarios where it's good, but, you know, just not there. Or just there, I mean, it might have worked pretty well, but we're not going to play the fives this time. I felt pretty bad about him. I didn't think I was going to hit a 5. If I felt there was any chance I hit a 5 and just, you know, stack someone, I would have played, but I just felt like there's no chance I win here. Felt my credibility was lacking. So, like, if I don't hit a 5 and I start putting money in there, I think I look too weak to be able to get called. Or be able to get folds, and they just call me down with, like, a 9, and I just lose. But it wouldn't be the worst pot to bet on, because you have some backdoors, but we brick everything, and card better for everyone else. That's twice. He's the preflop aggressor who made it 250, so 5x the big blind from under the gun, which I think is the first time we've seen just a 5x open. 3x, 4x, pretty standard. 5? I don't know what you're saying. You have aces and kings? You just bet small 3 streets? I guess aces and kings play that way. Let's see it. I'd like to see it, but 8s. Alright, so it was a pocket pair. And 10s is just going to be better, just by a little bit. Alright, the deuce 9. Ugh, for 25 it might be worth just for the V-pip, but only if I get a bunch of callers. Oh no, gonna have to call the deuce 9. Uh-oh. Yep, for the V-pip. And you flop about what you expect to flop with deuce 9. Ah, well. Ooh, river 6, punish me. This guy's... He's bet small the last hand, 3 streets, with like a middle pair. So you gotta think about that. And now he's betting 3/4, closer to full pot. If he bets small river, it's like 1 pair. But he goes big with it. So it's like 2 pair or a missed flush draw. One or the other. A lot of the time. Straight. Yeah. Seemed closer to nutted He bets bigger. I don't really know how many missed flush draws there are there. I'll play that way. Not playing this one because it's a very bad hand. Suited ace-10. This one's going to be a play. Do we 4-bet the ace-10? Oh, against a min 3-bet, yeah, we're doing it. Four bets look so strong that you don't really need to go too big with it, but we're still going to just do it. Now we're going to bet small. And we'll show him an ace. We'll be nice. We weren't fully out of line there. Yeah, sixes. Not as good. Thanks for showing, sir. Kind game. Friendly online game. Guess we have 4-bets here and there. 4-bet the ace-10 suited. Get an ace. Seems reasonable. That means we're up almost $20 in this 40 minutes. So now we're much higher than minimum wage. We should be a professional 25-cent, 50-cent player because we could make a living here, I guess, at this rate. And, you know, anyone who thinks that they want to try their luck in these waters, since they're clearly winnable, as I'm showing you, you know, just message me on Instagram, and I got you. And anyone who has any questions, comments, concerns about me, channel, poker in general, Florida poker, whichever, you know, let me know in the comment section. Have a conversation. That's what the live function's for, to talk to the people. Otherwise, you know, hope you enjoy. I appreciate everyone that's out there watching. Got about 20 more minutes of the stream. Then, you know, gotta go have the dinner with the wife. Because when you play poker for a living, you also need to balance family life. Very important. Don't want to just be stuck in the casino for, I don't know, 10 to 12 hours every day forever. Guy wins with a 9 kicker. Seems decent. This one's not playable. Interesting pop-up. Who YouTube, I assume that's what the YT is for, just Potts River gets a fold. Interesting. Interesting. Pocket fours will be a play. If we get 3-bet, we're just going to let this one go, though. So, doing it for the VPIP, doing it for the pocket fours. We've shown we're going to 4-bet with aces and stuff, so we should get some respect. Don't really expect people to 3-bet me too often anymore after I've shown a willingness to 4-bet. But this just smacks callers' ranges, like, very hard. Like, this one's just not the one to bet at. Like, they have all the 2 pairs, all the straights, all the sets. And I got sets too, and I guess king 10 sometimes, ace king sometimes, hearts sometimes, but it's just not my board. I expect a 10 to bet, so I don't even know. 10 or hearts probably bets flop, so this one's just weird. Ugh, yeah. Okay. Just like, I have like one of the few hands where I just have no piece and I can't continue. All ace X's or a pair or a gut shot or a straight. Flush draws. I just have like a million better hands there than black fours. So bad. That's something that, you know, people need to learn about poker. It's fine to just like fold hands here and there. Like, you don't need to fight for every pot. You just, okay, this one's not me. Give up. Like the ace deuce offsuit. Not me. Should not be playing that one. No punishment. Thought I might get a bad board for me there. (10-4). Also, pretty unplayable. Very tough to get this one. And when we turn at 8, if we were in there, I'd feel pretty good about continuing with our 4, but King of Clubs specifically is not the best river card. And we get 3/4 closer to pot. Saying he has it or he's bluffing, but what bluffs does he have? Even weirder when you get raised. Get raised on the river, the guy's just saying he has like maybe a flush himself. Kind of weird. Not too many full houses that are possible besides pocket deuces on that board. Well, I don't know, because I'm holding a 4. Don't really have pocket 8s. Pocket kings should have 3-bet. Deuces makes a little bit of sense, but king 8 is a weird hand to play, but I guess not impossible for how the players play in this area. Raise with ace jack seems correct. Jack 6 being a fold also seems pretty correct. Again, I like battling the micros. No pressure, just play, have fun, relax. When I play online, I'll only play like 1-2 online, like somewhat infrequently these days, just because like you could easily win or lose $1,000 1-2 online. It's very fast, and I've gone both ways. I've lost a K in like an hour, and I've won a K in like an hour playing 1-2. So I have to be like in the mood to battle, because you're gonna have to make like big calls, because the players that play 1-2 online are pretty good. They know what they're doing. So, you know, call pot-sized river bets with middle pairs sometimes, because they actually have bluffs, and they actually do. They're not like, you know, an OMC at a local 1-2 table. And then sometimes, you know, everything's working out and you're making the right moves and stuff. And then sometimes just they're having it when you're choosing your time to bluff. They're calling you with the same kind of, you know, not great hands. And so sometimes things just don't work out right. And online with no shuffler, no downtime, they can go pretty fast. Doggy boy wins a hand. Nice. Ace. That looks like aces, right? Guess not. Only because Pure's on the button, and Pure's like the most active 3-better, I'd say, so far in the stream. And being on the button, I just expect him to 3-bet more often than any other position. So having position on me, one thing's bad, but having it and the button, I'm just like, let's say there's just no good way to play it. If I raise and get 3-bet, it's a pretty clear fold. If I limp, pretty weak. So we'll just fold. And then we raise, get called, the board's ace high, and you're just like, well, now what? It's good now that we have the ace of clubs and there's 3 clubs on board, but I don't really know that's going to happen. No club on the river for punishment, but the board is double paired, and he's facing a pot size 3/4 wager when he checks to him on the double paired board. Yeah, I think unfortunately his hand looks a lot like a flush there, and the double paired board is not really what you're looking for when you have a flush. You're also not really looking for a deuce 5. All right, hopefully we get a few good more hands before we call it a stream. I think we got a few laps left in us. I think we can pull out some decent cards. I'm really a fan of this song. See how this one is. Double king flop. Bet small. Snap called. What does the snap call mean? And then half pot. Just win. Snap call possibly means that we just have it. 8-4 is also unplayable. Yeah, I stream every once in a while. I don't think I've been card dead like this in a stream in a while. Like, very few playable hands, but it's gonna happen to us all. The main takeaway is just be disciplined. Don't let your card death be like, well, I could play this hand because it's the best hand I've seen. That's very bad logic. But you could also say like, okay, I haven't played a hand in like, you know, an hour, and my image is great to like pull off a move with this hand. But saying this is the best hand I've played, and this is the best hand I've seen, that's why I'm playing it. That's pretty flawed and can get you in a lot of trouble, cost you money. Like King 7 is just, again, just can't do anything with it. If the flop's king high, you're like always dominated if your opponent has top pair. Like, there's like never a king that's worse. Even that, now you're just gonna be in trouble. Like, oh, chasing for a queen to then still lose to ace king? Not great. You get the dummy end though. That's kind of funny. And he did have ace king. I told you, you just die if you hit a queen there. And that guy had a king too, so he really was. He was in a lot of trouble if a queen hits that river. Queen 10, I guess worth a limp. Out of position raising it seems bad. I think it's still worth a call. Probably bad, but not horrible. So we'll see for $1.50 this Queen 10. And we flop good! Just kidding, I was trying to predict it, but not horrible. Half pot. Nah, we'll play a little bit face up. Face up. Especially because he didn't bet. The last hand, it checked all the way through and he had king highs, so we don't even expect this guy to have too many full bluffs because he would just check with high cards, I guess. So we're just gonna say he probably had like, you know, 6s, 7s, 9s. Maybe ace king just is kind of merge value betting, protecting, bluffing all at the same time. No, riveting analytics. He's doing all three actions at the same time. No snap betting this time. He bets pretty fast. All the previous hands, and this time he took his time and bet 3/4, gets called. I want him to check just to prove my point, saying like if he doesn't bet at 100% frequency, then he probably had at that time. He bets, gets called, and now disastrous turn card for whatever he's calling with. He doesn't bet because if he doesn't have a flush or a jack, it's just goes for a check raise, so guess he does have a strong hand. I guess we're gonna see who has a flush. Does he just rip? Yep, pretty much. Ooh, typed it exactly. That's weird because he had $70 and he bet 67.32, so puts the exact amount the opponent has all in. That's kind of weird. That doesn't happen all too often, so don't really know what to make of it, but it's at least noteworthy. Especially when the all-in's for 70, but you had to really go in there and type in, you know, 67.32 to get that number. Ooh, queens. Good last bit of cards. Good last note. Gonna end the stream on a high note with queens. Seems reasonable. Or a very devastating, crushing note. Also possible. So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Yeah, I knew he would eventually. Oh, is it a setup right at the end? I don't know. It was a big 3-bet, so we'll just call. Not hit a queen, because we won't. This guy does have bluffs, so... Ooh, check. I like that check, but I like checking back at least one street. And we get maximum punishment. Absolute maximum punishment on the turn. I check back for pot control, and I just give him the hand. Ooh, 2 aces, though. If he goes huge with it, I guess I can just fold. Damn. What a dumb final hand. Like... We're going to take our time on it, though. We're going to think about this. Oh, this one sucks so much. He needs, like, the ace of diamonds to even do this. Like, because the ace of spades is a flush draw and probably bets. So it's like one ace that he's saying he has. But hearts and spades miss. We call. Just, he has the ace of spades. Just my bad. Cool. Cool. Well, that's it for me. Today is a $20 loss. Could have just walked away from it, but that wouldn't be fun for the stream. Gotta let the people see what happens. So thank you all for joining me. If you like the stream, you can message me, play it next week. Otherwise, I have Instagram and Telegram, Kyle_official or @KyleOfficial. And otherwise,